Hello, I am Alex from Hyperon Experience and Easy Rollers, and I'm going to give you a breakdown of my remix of Baptised by Dub. My remix of Baptised by Dub is actually a freebie. It's a limited edition, only 100 copies on a single-sided 10-inch, which is sexy as you like. And if you get these three, you get the 10-inch free, which is great. And I think this comes out May the 9th, 2024. But we are at the mercy of the pressing plants, so you'll take that with a pinch of salt. Anyway, it'll be available on the Night Force site pretty soon. I've actually got a remix on here called Flinny's Theme, but when I found out that Night Force were doing remixes of The Criminal Minds, the first thing I thought is, well, can I do Baptised by Dub? Which has been, it's been done to hell. But I thought, yeah, I really want my own version because I wanted to do this, but So I asked Chris if I could, and I did. And what you're looking at on his screen is actually two remixes of Baptised by Dub. They look very similar, except the one on the left is a bit longer. That's because I did a VIP, which I'll come to later. So here's the remix, and then here's the VIP. I will come to the reason for that in a little while, but let's just start. So Baptised by Dub starts with this. I don't know if you know, but none of these samples were available. So you have to put these tunes together out of the bits that you can get. So this is how the tune starts.
Yo, yo.
Let me turn it off.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up? Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up?
Now, I did try and find out what that tune was because it's obviously something off record that's been slowed down like with a deck top, and nobody knew deck stops and nobody knew what it was. So I just wrote a little piece, which was this, which then slows down. Let's just go through what I've done there. So a client at my studio had left a 606 round here. So this is actually an original Roland TR-606, but it's been sent through distortion. And then because I distorted it, I needed a bit more kick. So here's the kick cut out, but I've low passed it. So that just gives me a little bit more thump underneath that kick. And then I was going to cut the snare out, but I actually went to Logic's samples and just chose a 606 snare. So that comes in. And then I used a synthesizer called a Deckard's Voice, which is a Eurorack module, to make this little acid thing. And that goes into that, and I've slowed that down and added effects, and off we go. And then these vocals actually were ripped using AI software, which hopefully I can show you. Here it is. So I use Lalau, which is an online what does it do? It's an online stem separation tool, and you buy units and blah blah blah. I use it. It's pretty good. I was using Acoustica 6. Well, I wasn't. I got a friend who's got it, so I was sending stuff to him. But I actually think this is better. So I now use this. There we go. Let's carry on. So that goes down to that breakdown. I love these sounds. These were made on a Moog Matriarch. Let's just talk about that sound actually. This is a real honey. So I'll take all the effects off. So this is a waveform. We'll go there, maybe we can see how sexy those waveforms are. I don't know if you're into waveforms, Maybe I'm just weird. Maybe I am just weird. Let's take all the effects off and have a look at what the actual sound was. So very sing, ding, sing, ding, sing, ding, which was too much. So I added on, what's the EQ done? Low cut, because I didn't want any low end mucking around with it. This is going to vinyl, so you can't have too much super low end. Then I added this decapitate, which is a site I use a lot. But one of the functions on here is this tone control. If I muck around with that, you hear that shriekiness is getting louder and it gets lower. Fine. I don't think Virtual Mix Rack was used a lot. Little bit of low shelving, little bit of harmonic low end. Very nice. But here's a cool little tool. This is by Oak Sound and it's Soothe. So let's just go through that sound again. Can you see those little spikes? Well, obviously you can. Well, there's that resonance. If I turn this off, they get louder. So this will choose resonant peaks and dynamically control them. How cool is that? That's amazing, amazing. You can actually hear what it's doing as well. It's taking that sound out. We can take more out, actually. And you can get rid of those stuff as well. That's really cool. And we will put that on now. So cool. So easy to use, so cool. That's what I like. Anyways, that's a really good sound. That was made on the Moog Matriarch. So it's an analog thing. There we go. Now.
We are the
Let's talk about this loop. Now I went back to the original loop, actually. Let's just loop that up. Actually, we'll put that into solo here. Dub loop. Here we go. And then what I did, I got that stem separation to the online one to remove the beats. Now here's the snare out of that loop. Oh, bother. Here it is. So I've taken the bass out. I've asked it to just do but what I've done is I've inverted the phase of that. So what that means is by taking the snare out, I can remove the snare from the loop. I'll just bring that down. In fact, I've got a twiddly knob thing here. I can do it. So you're listening to the snare in that loop, and as I bring the volume up, you hear I can remove it by inverting the phase after stem splitting it. What? That is mental good. Mental good. And then once I'd taken the snare out, I could put my own snare in. So I've got this snare. Super Hench Smackadoo. Which I obviously made that up and put it in. But the main thing here is what the effects are doing. So I've got, it's awesome. I'm really into this. This is Logic's own impulse response reverb, which is very, very good. And I'm using lo-fi amp mid A, whatever that means. But it's a good sound. It's a good sound. And then I've got a phaser on that sound. Turn it off. Lovely. And then what I'm doing is I'm ducking out the reverb from the snare. You see that's ducking that out. So when we put that all together, that just, by ducking out the effects on the snare, just give the snare time to be very present in the mix. And then after that you have that effect. I quite like doing stuff like that. Alright, so I've recreated this. I must have added some bass to this. Must have done. So I'm just going down to the bass line on this. I want to see, I must have put some. All right, so this is my bass channel. This thing here adds a lot to the very low end. Let's turn that off actually on that loop to see what happens. I'm listening to the bass. Makes a big difference. I think on the original remix, on the original tune they did, they must have EQ'd it prior as they sampled it, and then those chops, which I tried to recreate and change, and I couldn't. It just didn't sound as good. Hey ho. All right. Let's just talk quickly about those beats just there. Let's put them into solo. So you've got your hot pad, or rather your raw, lovely. But what I did, I put in funky drummer. I put that funky drummer in there. I'll show you that. So I like having two pitches of drums. It's a little bit like, it reminds me of those breaks, some of those breaks that have different pitch snares, like Lynn Collins' thing, which is like boom, ka, which goes. So it's always got two pitches. So I do like stuff like that. Oh, we've got this other kick in here as well. Anything of any interest? All right, I've got distortion on the drums, bypass, subtle, doing something, not too much. This Empirical Labs Mikey on 18% or mix 2.2. That seems fair. Bypass, subtle again. And it's clariphonic. Now, if this clariphonic, if you haven't used this clariphonic, it is absolutely amazing. It's like it's meant to be it's based on a hardware item by Kush, and it's meant to be a parallel EQ. There we go, that's what it is. Doesn't have an output volume, which is criminal. Anyway, check out what happens when you bypass this. Isn't that lovely? An amazing piece of kit. Very, very good indeed, that. Where are we? Are we on this one? There we go. Okay, what's happening now? And it goes along and we've got some beats running. And then you've got this stuff here. Oh yeah, Big Fat Hench Amon. Let's just have a quick look at that Big Fat Hench Amon. What's this one? What's the first thing? Standard snare, but then there's this snare as well. Really compressed. It's called Snare Smash. Let's have a quick look. What am I doing to that? So that's that same snare, but I'm just destroying it. Just hitting it, just mental amount of compression. What's this one? Aim and shuffle. Oh, nice editing. And this little thing here as well. Little shuffle. So the whole thing's together. Nice, that shuffle layer. Oh, direction mix. What am I doing there? So, really, that's interesting. I don't know what that's on, so let's just ignore that and imagine we weren't doing that. Let's go to this Amon. What have I got on here? Put a clariphonic on again. That's pretty good. We know what that does already. Spiff is a bit different. So what does Spiff do? Spiff is a, loosely speaking, no, it's not loosely speaking. It is a multi-band transient tool. So let's just look at that. We'll put it into Delta mode. This shows you what I'm adding to the drum. I can change the decay and the frequency dependent decay. So I can add that into the sound. It's pretty good. I probably haven't given it enough justice doing that, but I can add transient and extra level and you can bring out top end. It's a pretty powerful tool, actually. It's very, very good. That was also by, what's his face? Oak Sound. And a little bit of Decapitator. Nothing too much. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I can hardly hear that happening. There we go. All good. What's next? So, let's come out with solo. What happens next? So yeah, that goes along and go with the flow, blah blah blah, and then it comes to the breakdown. Now, obviously, the original breakdown is this one here, but I just want to lead in a little bit more, and I really love that sort of techno edge, very simple to understand music. I love that. I love that because it's so simple. I've got this theory, which is no one really needs to be educated on a dance floor. The dance music should be very easy to understand. That's what I think. Because people, when you're on a dance floor, you just want to dance to good music that hits hard, has a big fat bass, and the snare cuts through. That's what you like. That's what I like, and I just assume everyone's like me. While I was making this video, let's go down to this breakdown here, this second breakdown, which is the sort of the original one. Oh, let's talk about his stab actually while we're here. So here's the original stab, and I've layered it with this, which sounds unbelievable. Oh, it's from the Anna 2. Oh, what's this? Is this the Slate one, or is this the? Yes, this is Slate. I just looked for something that worked. Check that out. So the layered sound is stereo and higher definition, giving the whole thing a more stereo, higher definition edge. Like that, I like that a lot. I've really gone to town on that, but I can't be bothered to explain it because it's just EQ things. But what I did notice while I was working on this, if I can get, I haven't got my keyboard set up, so that's a pain in let's try this one. Now, they had played these notes. Is it? Yeah. Oh, cancel. Is it T? So they'd played those notes. Those are the notes they played in Baptised by Dub. And that stab sound is obviously from Playing with Knives by Bizarre Inc. And so they had just used this. I'll just show you. So Playing with Knives is. And Criminal Minds had gone. They'd used the same note from Playing with Knives along with the same notes, the same sound and the same notes as Playing with Knives. And I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be a good idea? Turn that off, hang on. If I just mixed Playing with Knives with Baptised by Dub.
Just dance and move your body.
So I did. I put Playing with Knives in with a Baptised by Dub remix, and we called it the VIP. Because I don't know if you know, but this tune is going to absolutely go off.
Go with the flow.
And there we go. So there we go. I did it. I'm quite proud of it. And it's just a bit of fun. Anyway, so that you get that as the freebie if you buy all three of the Criminal Minds things. So also, as I don't know if I mentioned, but unfortunately, the DJ Spats, who's one of the members of Criminal Minds, passed away. I was fortunate enough to chat to him a couple of days before he went. He did pass away. And usually I add a little bit of my own Hyper On Experience tunes to Hyper On Experience remixes, but I didn't with this one because I'd added someone else's tune. But I did add, in the original one, there was a reference to the man DJ Spat, so I added that in at the outro. There we go. So there we go. So you can get the remix, which doesn't have Playing with Knives, as part of the digital download, and you can get the vinyl version of my remix of Baptised by Dub with the VIP of Playing with Knives mixed in. If you buy all three of them. There we go. I am going to stop, and thank you very much.